Hello, Em.
Hi, Gav.
How's it going?
It's all right. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. It's all going well. Everything is fine.
You sound a little bit robotic when you say that.
A bit mechanical, aren't I? It might be because I've just finished teaching.
Uh-huh.
I'm still in the zone.
Oh, yeah.
The teaching zone.
Do you want a slap or something?
I might need a slap if I can't focus on this. But I am very, very excited about this week's episode.
Yeah. Me
Do you
too.
want to know what it is?
Absolutely.
Okay, well, off the top of my head, I suddenly decided we should talk about learning or teaching from home.
Oh.
And we have touched on this a little bit in prior episodes, like different platforms and different ways of teaching, learning, etc.
I think I remember a certain episode called Teaching Outside the Classroom, wasn't it? About...
Yep.
We did discuss Skype. Yeah.
And I think we need to deal with this.
All right, we're
I
going
mean,
to
we can talk about everything else if you want to, which we might do anyway.
Yeah, I'm for it.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
It does. I am through the rabbit hole. No,
Okay, through the looking glass.
I'm down the rabbit hole, in the rabbit hole and through the looking glass now.
Okay, in the well of knowledge.
Yeah. Face
font
the
of-
fear
okay.
of online. Yeah, all right. Let's
Okay,
just
so we've
get
got
on
loads to
with it.
talk about. So should we just kind of randomly talk about this topic because it's something we both know about? We haven't structured this at all, so it's like a bit of a free-for-all. It sounds good, doesn't it?
It does sound good. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not sure I can think of everything, but let's.
Where would you
let's
start
just
on this?
Jump in. I think the fear of it is worse than the reality of it. The actual reality of teaching online. I think
And learning online.
and learning online. I was quite apprehensive. My
Yep.
students were quite apprehensive.
Take me back to the beginning of this experience. I feel like it needs a narrative. Give us a bit of context.
You mean in very real terms?
Yeah,
So
literally.
every lesson that I had face to face and in person was slowly transferred to being online.
Okay.
So I had to deal with that reality quite quickly.
Not only you had to deal with it, but I guess your students also had to deal with it.
Yeah, and I think we both had the attitude of, well, this is just going to happen now, and
Yeah.
we're going to just do this. So it wasn't so much, would you like an online lesson? It was, when would you like your
Yes.
online lesson?
Well, that's also good if you're trying to reassure your students that nothing is going to change. It's literally, we're just moving from this platform to another platform, another way of doing the same thing.
Exactly. So if your attitude is that kind of, well, this is just normal, isn't it? And this is just a small transition.
Yeah.
Then they don't freak out and think this is a big deal.
And you don't freak out and think, what
Well,
the hell
I did
am I going
freak out. I totally freaked out.
Is that why you spent all that time downloading all those different programs?
Yeah. But in hindsight, now I think it was unfounded fear, perhaps.
Okay. Should we let the cat out of the bag and talk about different programs that you can use?
Ooh, if you want, I thought you were quite anti, sponsorship without funding.
Well, yeah, they're not going to pay us, so we should let's just talk about it anyway.
All right, okay.
Okay, let's take turns. WebEx,
Zoom,
Microsoft Teams,
WhatsApp.
I was going to say Skype. Skype for Business.
Wait, that's two. Whereby?
Oh, you win. I can't think of any.
I think there's also. Have we said? We said WebEx. We
Yeah,
said
Zoom. Just using your telephone, I guess. You could just call them up if you've got that much credit on your phone.
Yeah.
But-
Are we going to compare then now?
Well, they've all got their advantages and disadvantages.
Some have more disadvantages, I would say.
Okay. Well, I think as long as they've got the basic facilities of video is really good because it's really good to be able to see people.
You
and
mean actual camera?
sound.
Yeah.
As long as you've got the sound, as long as you've got the video, and then you might...
Sorry, but what kind of online conference call platform would not have sound?
Well, I'm saying as long as it got sound, then it's okay.
If the sound's working, I see.
Yeah. All right, I went backwards. I started with video and then I thought, actually, you need to have sound. That's probably priority. But it's nice to be able to see people. I think a lot of teachers would like to share the screen because then we like to show worksheets, we like to show videos. Sharing sound, you'd have to check with the app that it allows you to share your sounds because some of them don't, which is quite frustrating. Others would require you to upload a video to their server onto the actual chat page in order for you to then be able to show the video, which is a lot of planning. And some have got definite advantages, some have disadvantages. I like that you mentioned WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Because that's just a regular chat app that everybody has.
Should point out, doesn't work on a desktop with camera. It's only audio.
Unless you hack it, which some people can do.
Well, yeah, but as a backup, it's very good. If your go-to app didn't work,
yes.
I just remembered Google Hangouts is another
That's
one.
right. Oh, I haven't tried that one yet.
Haven't either. That's why it wasn't in my head.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you might have mentioned, I'm not a very technical person, so it's been a bit of a struggle to understand the concept even, because Skype for Business, for example, and Microsoft Teams, you haven't actually got access to the app or the platform in any sense on your computer. You can
the free version you can do the basics. If you download the app, you can still activate it. You can create.
It's not on your computer.
Not
anywhere.
Skype for Business, no.
It's only there as an invitation.
Microsoft Teams you can download and you can use it as a normal program.
Right. Good.
But I think it's limited. But you're right. Skype for Business is only premium, so you have to still download the app, but then you can't access it.
Yeah.
The student will. That's the next bit. How does the student organise a lesson, or how do you organise it?
I don't exactly know.
Very good answer.
They go into their Outlook calendar.
Yes.
And they actually have a button on there that says arrange a Skype meeting.
Or from
something.
the app itself. If they're on WebEx, if they're on Microsoft Teams, they can invite this schedule. It goes into their calendar. You should receive an invitation into your calendar. Most normal people have an online calendar.
I assume you're meaning I'm not normal because I don't.
Paper.
Anyway.
Okay.
Still works, I will just add.
Yeah, but you click on that to open the video conference, I'm sure.
And it works.
That is typically what happens. Or you receive an email, you kind of confirm, yes, I'm going to attend. And then you should also have another link, maybe in that email, or you can go to your calendar and you click join. Yeah. And then you automatically connect at that time.
And it is a little bit slow, these business ones. I think they do take a little while to start up the program.
You need quite a good computer these days, don't you?
Yeah, you do.
Could you do all of this on a mobile phone? Probably.
I would say probably not, but
maybe not yours.
Would be hard, very hard. I think that once you've worked out how the invitations work and where they exist in cyberspace, and if you can actually go to the program
email,
or not,
calendars.
Yeah, for example, regular Skype, you can actually schedule the call if you want, and you can actually see everybody quite well.
Right.
What have you found to be the best one?
I couldn't say which. I could say which one's the worst one, but then that just wouldn't be very nice.
No, let's be positive. I think we need to be positive.
Oh, yes. I think they all work okay. I was quite impressed with Whereby. That was good. But again, you might find that lots of students can't access it because they've got work computers and it will stop them from going to certain sites and
administration restrictions.
Exactly.
That's something that's come up a lot this week.
Always be prepared to suddenly switch to something which I think eventually you just say, have you got WhatsApp? And then you just stand there with a very achy arm for 60 minutes.
With your mobile phone plugged into the wall so you can't move.
Yep.
Yeah.
Resting against the fruit basket.
Yeah, well, that's definitely a good thing, just to avoid, actually having to cancel the lesson. You can still survive and do it. So going back to the original attitude of just let's do this thing, and then you do it. And I'd say more than 75% were successful first time, and the ones that maybe had a few little teething problems, we sorted and eventually got connected.
So it could be that the student is using the programs that they typically use.
Some of
at
them.
work.
Some of them.
That's often been the case, hasn't it, for you?
Yeah.
It's not just simply, let's just do it, but you might have to...
Well, I've had some classes that just haven't used any kind of video call.
Exactly.
And they've had to learn very quickly.
Okay.
And they have.
You've
generally done
recommended different programs to them and said, well, this one might be the best one for you.
Yeah, I think just choose the one that's the most basic and easiest and user-friendly. And generally, they're quite good at getting their heads around it and
that's good.
Learning on the spot.
All right, so we've agreed on the platform, we've sent our invitations or we've received them from the teacher, from the student, and then we are connecting. Oh, have we planned this one or is it just a conversation lesson?
Oh, well, we've talked about planning in previous. I think we should deal with the more kind of
the practical
the
side.
practical side of it.
Okay.
I mean, we
Chargers,
know how to plan.
electricity.
Yeah.
Make sure your device is plugged in if
I
you
said
need
to
it for a long
someone
time.
today, are you near the router or is it
wow.
very far away from you because you've got a very bad connection? I don't know if that means anything or if that
It
is
sounds
actually
very
true.
technical.
She didn't know where a router was, but I
Okay.
just don't know whether that is that right? I mean, is that
It sounds good to me.
you should be quite close to the router if you want to have a good connection.
Yeah, yeah. Or you might find that your internet's just not fast enough.
There's-
Moving on to other technical things, I've found that wearing headphones is really useful. If you've got a built-in mic as well on the headphones, then you're going to be heard better
Yes.
by the teacher or the student.
Yes, definitely agree with that.
So headphones are, I would say they're a must, but not always because you get a lot of echoing and there are some issues when you're not wearing headphones.
Background noise picked up a bit, maybe
Yeah.
more than it is on
Close the
headphones.
windows.
Yeah, be aware of what you're doing, or don't rustle and
Yes.
fiddle with the
Yes.
microphone cable. You know,
Don't play with things on the table if your laptop's there because it's going to pick up all the
Don't
extra
write
sounds.
on your laptop because it sounds like someone cutting wood.
Yeah, don't spill coffee on your laptop because that will
yeah.
end the lesson very quickly. There's lots of don'ts, but do also focus and listen carefully and respond to the students' questions.
I think you have to consider whether they're familiar with the format because, as you mentioned, some of them have got this conference calling. I mean, we are just specifically talking about business people, aren't we, at the moment? So,
Why?
well,
How is it any different?
okay, a lot of my students are already working using these applications, so they're used to the etiquette, let's say, of the way.
What is the etiquette?
Waiting your turn, talking in
Turn taking.
nominating, not
Who
all talking
nominates?
at the same time, or whoever's kind
The
of
organizer?
the leader, yeah.
Teacher? Okay. The moderator, is it called? Or the chairperson?
Yeah.
Don't all talk at the same time. Good.
Yeah.
And
And just wait for someone to stop before you start talking.
okay.
And I think that most adults have that kind of sort of instinct, maybe, to do
Not
that.
to talk over each other.
Yeah, so that's maybe you don't. I don't know. And then you can just be slightly more artificial than a normal conversation because you're sort of turn taking a bit more.
Okay.
But you have to do that, I think.
It's a bit more staged.
Yeah, and
And
I
there's also a bit of a delay. Sorry, did I interrupt you again?
go through a little bit of the technical problems maybe on the first lesson, things that can happen, problems that can occur.
Oh, okay. So discuss a bit like classroom management. You sort of go through the do's and don'ts. Like, I'm going to nominate you to answer a question. It sounds very formal. Surely you could just make it more natural.
Well, the way you say it makes it sound a little bit, like school. I mean, I've been having a lesson based on problems that can occur. And
Okay.
you elicit that from them, maybe. Of
Is this like a group lesson or could you do that with one-to-one?
both, but you wouldn't have the problem of, well, you might have the problem of talking over each other.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But I'm not sure you could say to a one-to-one, right, I'm going to talk first. And then you wait. And then when I'm finished, I will wink. And then you can start.
That's how a conversation works in normal
In real life.
Yeah.
But you also have to consider there is a slight delay. And like you said, there could be real technical problems. So you might just lose the person and then they've got to reconnect. Maybe you have to be more patient and anticipate maybe some things that are going to go wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
But that's fine if you throw it at them first and say, well, what problems can you imagine? And then they're already thinking.
Oh, that's
of it.
nice. Yeah. So that's the first, not that we want to focus on first lessons, because I think that was the first podcast, the first episode. But yeah, I like the idea of going through some of the rules or some of the etiquette and even finding out their own experience of chatting. Do you do a lot of business calls? So how does that work for you? And they might say, oh, we just all talk at the same time and it works perfectly. You have to just see what happens.
Gav, would you like a tea?
You know I only drink coffee.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think that could be arranged.
Oh?
Followers, if you enjoy listening, watching or reading Gav and Em's How to English Pod, visit coffee.com/howtoenglishpod.
That's coffee, ko-fi.com/howtoenglishpod. And it would be lovely if you bought us a tea or a coffee to show us support. You could even get a mention on our show if you'd like. Technical issues aside, different programs aside, is there anything else we need to consider?
Well, only that you can't use pieces of paper, which I so love, but you have to use another method of...
I've used paper.
What? In what way? Like holding it up?
Yeah, I had to hold it up one time.
All right, but there are better ways of doing it. That you can share your screen with them.
Some people have whiteboards on the walls behind them, and they write.
Home?
Yeah. Because some teachers spend all their time teaching from home,
Sure.
and they might teach kids as well. Maybe that's a
Right.
better thing. You can sort of stick things on there.
So that's an option, but you've got the screen share, you've got the comments box where you
Yeah.
can stick some links in there. Or
Yeah, you can
even,
type in there,
you
type
can
the
drag
errors.
and drop documents in those.
Yep,
as
you
well,
can.
so
You can.
That works.
Yeah, exactly. So you've got two options. You can literally share your screen, and then the teacher might want to type into the spaces for the student on behalf of the student, or the teacher can send the document to the student, and then the student can work on their own computer on that, and then you can sort of ask and answer questions about what they're doing. I personally am a bit of a control freak, and I tend to share my screen, and then I just get them to tell me the answers. Because when they're doing it, like if you say, I want you to watch this video, you've got no idea what part of the video they're at. And if you want them to stop it and then say, okay, so talk to me, what have you seen? It's really hard to anticipate what they've already seen. But if I show them, if I'm sharing my sound, which is available on some of the apps, then I can pause it and then I say, okay, so what do you understand?
Yeah,
Explain
I
it
think
to
that
me.
works on most of these apps, but I think some of them do have these restrictions on them. So
Yeah.
some of them don't allow you to share the screen if you're not the administrator. So then you have to get the student to allow you to
Oh,
share
yeah.
it. So that's quite complicated. So just be aware of that. I think those were the things I realised this week. There's still lots of options. You can mix and match. You can share things on their phones and they can just be looking at you. But I
yeah.
quite like the sharing the screen because it takes also away from your face for a while. So you can just look away, scratch your nose, whatever you need to do.
Drink a cup of coffee.
Yeah, it's just a little break for you, I think, because you don't know what they're looking at either on these.
They're probably not even looking at you.
Probably not. I think half of them are just on some
They're answering
websites.
their emails. And is mute an issue? I hear sometimes people accidentally put mute on.
Yeah, well, I think the more business apps, like the Skype for Business, the Microsoft Teams, they're automatically set to mute and they're automatically set to no camera. So the opposite is true of other ones, like regular Skype.
Right.
And I think WebEx, they're
Okay.
automatically on, aren't they?
Yeah.
So you have to be aware of whether you're turned on or off.
So you might accidentally leave it on mute and you might be talking for 2 minutes and then realise nobody can hear you.
Yeah.
So just keep an eye on those things, cameras, apps and mics
I think
and stuff.
good advice is just don't rush. Just look at what you're, just take time to look at it and see what it is you're looking at and read the messages on the screen and look at the buttons and ask them, what does this do and what happens if I press that? And don't be scared to just have that first lesson just being a bit of a funny kind of, oh, I've just lost you because I pressed the hang up button and now I'm calling you back kind of thing.
And you could practice beforehand. I mean, you can, if you know somebody like a friend, you could just get them to sort of practice it with you and practice a few things before the lesson from the teacher's point of view.
That's always good, yeah.
And the student can do that too. Just think about downloading the app first so that you're not waiting for 2 minutes while you're trying to start the lesson.
Very good point. Do it well before.
Yeah.
That's a bit frustrating when they haven't actually thought about what they're going to do and, I need to download something.
That's good. We've done everything, I think, from the setting up, any sort of troubleshooting issues. I remember as also you have some WhatsApp groups with them. So if you do have any problems, you could be sort of chatting at the same time and just saying, hey, I'm on this app, I'm on Skype, but it's not working. What do I need to do? And then so they can sort of, they could take photos of the screen and say, press here, or,
just be talking on WhatsApp while you're dealing with other, apps on your laptop, maybe. Just have that. Don't forget that that's there as a tool.
Yeah.
Comfortable chair, I think.
That's really important.
Really good.
Refreshments. I think you can't eat crisps. Biscuits probably too loud as well. Okay, unless you use the mute a lot.
Soft fruit perhaps is a good...
Tissues in case you need to sneeze. I sneezed today. The student went, bless you, and it was fine. So there were no issues. We can still sneeze.
No issues and no tissues.
No issues or tissues.
You have tissues on
Practical things. Make sure that you're not in a noisy place where distractions are going on, and if your kids are running around, that's going to make it difficult for you to study or teach.
Yeah. Have some nice light coming in. I think I've found it look a bit dead in some of the apps.
A bit ghostly.
Yeah, dark eyes.
Plenty of light makes you look healthy. If you can sit near a window, that's even better.
It is.
But you might need to close the window in case people decide to do some building outside at work or something. I don't know. So just be cautious. Just think ahead. That's it. Make sure your laptop or whatever's plugged in. People use tablets. Some people use phones for all this. It's just like every day you see them in their pajamas with a piece of toast.
It's quite sweet. They're letting you into their lives.
They're
happy, to show you their pets and their babies, and something you don't really get to do in the regular lessons.
Yeah, it's nice. It must be very nice for the students to be home, be a lot more relaxed in their own environment, and have that opportunity. It's nice to be home and have your English lesson at home.
Yeah, and encourage them, I think, to turn the camera on, because I think it's important to
definitely
have even virtual face-to-face
helps.
Even
even if they haven't done their makeup, just say, I don't care, just switch it on. I need to see your face. I don't want to just hear your voice.
Yeah.
And then for the teaching, for the learning, it's all exactly the same. Speaking, listening, creating sentences, asking questions, answering, bit of grammar, some new vocabulary, it all works exactly the same.
Once you're familiar with the programs, I don't think there's any reason why you can't do any of that. Listening, you can share the audio, you can stop whenever you need to.
That's it.
You can show them the workbook if you're working in a book, or you can give them a document that you've prepared. And they can have it as homework, or just send it to them by email after the lesson.
That's exactly what I was going to say. So when you finish the lesson and say, for example, you've been using Foxit PDF program, which allows you to type all over the PDF, which is brilliant. And then you save it, and then you say to the student, right, I'm going to email it to you, or you drop it in the chat so that they can save it onto their computer and read back through later.
Just make sure you make a copy rather than save over the original.
Yeah, don't forget to do that. Put them in a folder. For the student, make a folder. That, again, coming back to the advantage of using computers, you can have folders for all the students, and you can put their documents in there. You can say, oh, do you remember last week we did this? Let's quickly go back over it.
It's very easy to keep track.
Remember their homework and make sure they do it, all of that stuff.
And don't forget just to walk around for a little while.
Take a break. Have some exercise. Pace the living room.
Climb the walls.
Okay.
Pull your hair out. Yeah.
That's it. Oh, I feel more relaxed already.
Good.
I feel like it's a walk in the park.
It's been quite a hard week.
All right. So I'll probably see you around.
I'm sure you will.
Definitely see you next week anyway.
Yeah.
For the new episode of How to English Teach and Learn. Remember, it's for teachers and learners, with Gav and Em. And thanks to everybody. Thanks to all the listeners. Keep safe out there. Be sensible. Teach online. Learn online. Encourage everybody to learn. Em?
Yeah.
See you later.
Second, absolutely all of that you just said.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.